No DedSec registration detected. Identify yourself, or I'll seal the exits, hack your optic, and read you every drunken email you ever wrote until you starve.
And you'll have to explain my untimely demise to Sabine.
Sabine's alive? Well, that's one piece of good news. I'm Bagley, DedSec's definitely not stolen, highly advanced AI assistant, and it seems I've been out of commission for a few months. Anyway, why don't you go connect me to the DedSec network so I can become more powerful than you could possibly imagine? I mean, catch up on what I missed. Ah, that's it. I'm reconnected to the network. Downloading our database, news archives, and... Oh no. Terrorist group DedSec responsible for deadly bombings in London. Dalton Wolf dead? I leave you people alone for a second and you immediately cock it all up.
That's the shape of it. What I want to know is if it wasn't DedSec who did the bombings, who was it?
There's a gap in my memory after Dalton... Well, let's be honest, after I disarmed the bomb at Parliament. I'm missing information about what happened after I was taken offline. But from what I can infer, an unknown hacker group identified only as Zero Day was involved. I believe this Zero Day staged the attacks and framed DedSec for their dirty work. Come to my terminal. Sabine is requesting a video call. Patching in Sabine Brandt now. I suggest you listen very closely to anything she has to say.
There you are. I'm glad you made it. Bagley. God, it's good to hear your demented little voice. Is your memory intact?
Not even slightly. The last record I have is of our HQ being raided. My only lead is a group known as Zero Day. Ring any bells?
No. But the HQ was attacked by some men in black, the same that were at Parliament. Maybe working together. We didn't stand a chance. They just gunned everyone down.
Christ. How did you make it out?
I managed to escape through the sewers to Camden. A contact smuggled me out of the city, and I've been hiding out in the north since.
Prudent. Your profile is red flagged as a high-priority target in the city's surveillance system. Even a partial recognition here would have you hunted down and shot on sight.
DedSec is about as popular as the plague these days. Look, you know I'd do anything for you, but fucking hell. Sabine, that's a lot to ask.
Listen, if anyone knows anything about risks, it's me. I lost everything and everyone. But it comes down to this. London is in a death spiral. And if DedSec can't pull it out, trust me, no one can. The city needs a resistance. And it starts with you. What do you say?
Fuck it. There's fate's worse than death.
Excellent. New user registered. Welcome to DedSec. Now, it would be irresponsible of us to release you naked and mewling into the wild. You'll find equipment around the safehouse that are essential items in your DedSec kit. We have a sophisticated system for hiding your identity from facial recognition tech. It's called a mask. And while we're here, perhaps we can talk about updating your wardrobe. I mean, look at you. Come on.
You've got all these fancy new toys, but it's also important to know the basics. You need to learn how to throw a punch and how to take one. Albion will escalate if you come at them with a gun and shoot you down. We want to avoid collateral damage. In DedSec, we try to use guns only as a last resort.
Have you already met Connie Robinson? She owns the pub and is an old DedSec contact.
Let's start with some basic strikes. Hit me. Don't be shy. Just like that. You'll want to get in under my block. Find the weak point. Yes! Nice one! Yes! Nice one! Donkey! Quick on your feet now. You want to create distance. Couldn't have done that better myself. Nice one!
Right. Gear in order? Know enough not to punch yourself in the face or get shot for pulling out a gun too early? Brilliant. I'm working out how we find Zero Day and ruin their day, but I need someone with actual legs to do the legwork. Hope you're ready.
We have some damage control to do if we want to change the perception that we're a bunch of violent thugs. I'll let you be the judge of how best to handle yourself, but remember, you represent DedSec now.
I just can't handle this right now.
All right, let's do this. What's the plan, boss?
Make no mistake, London is under occupation. Armed mercenaries patrol our streets, allegedly to keep people safe, but really they're keeping the people scared.
Oldest trick in the authoritarian handbook. Make people afraid enough and they please themselves.
So, we have to ignite the will to resist in the people of London by showing them that Albion aren't the solution. They're the problem.
For that, we'll need information. I'm pushing 2 sets of coordinates to your optic.
Cheers, Bagley. I've identified two opportunities. One, we're going to disrupt some Albion propaganda. Remind the people it's not Albion's way or the highway. Two, we need intel about Albion operations if we want to throw a spanner in their plans. You game?
You know I am. Let's light this motherfucker up.
Brilliant. Let's get the people of London on board.
They're around here somewhere. Keep looking.
All units. I repeat, all units. We have reports of a hostile in your area.
Control, there's been an accident. Over.
This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and you're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about Dev Hassani, our gone, but sadly not forgotten Prime Minister. It's strange to think that he was just another here today, gone tomorrow politician until his infamous London is drowning speech went viral. The forces of darkness he unleashed with that speech changed everything around us. Was Hassani's rise inevitable? Could it have been stopped? And what happens when democracy starts to breed the ideas that can destroy it? Using back channels and underground contacts, we got in touch with political analysts and historians to find out how it's possible for cynical, short-term leaders like our beloved Prime Minister to give birth to political nightmares. No full names, as most wanted these days telling the truth can get you killed. Helen spelt out the dangers of populism for major political magazines and websites back in the pre-censorship days.
The appeal of fascist politics is about strongmen, and they are usually men, because it's about saying there are simple problems that are really easy to define, say immigration, and there are simple solutions to them, stop immigration. And they are really appealing because they make sense of a world that can often feel really complicated and confusing, and they do offer, or seem to offer, action, instead of what politics can often be, which is a kind of messy set of compromises where no one gets really what they want, everyone gets a little bit of it. And that's the problem, really, is you end up in a situation where it looks like someone is going to do something incredible and transformative, but of course either it never really delivers, or it delivers at a huge cost to, for example, dehumanising people. And I think you see that in the rhetoric around immigration. If you say immigrants are a problem, we're going to stop them, it's a legitimate political stance for a country to want to control its borders, but the way that that's done can often end up being very cruel and inhumane, because what you have said is immigrants specifically are the problem. Not every fascist is a populist, but they are two interlinked styles of government, really, because what fascists tend to do is rely on narratives of deep change and of enemies. I think that's one of the hallmarks of this style of politics, where you represent your opponents not just as people who disagree with you, but as existential threats, as evil people. So you see it in the course of the run-up to the Second World War, where Jewish people are represented as, rats and a scourge. You see it with Muslims, where they are represented as coming to take over and replace white people. So you have big, defined groups of enemies that the person who is trying to convince you to vote for them, or later on simply to support their regime, is a means to defeat. So it's always an element.
Albion have established an operational base in the Royal Court of Justice.
Suppose the tracks that they've taken over the courts, they throw everyone who crosses them in a cage.
Exactly. But it likely means there's information here about how Albion are targeting dissenters, the who and the why. We need that data if we're going to disrupt their operation.
Stand. Christ! Balls!
What have we got, Bagley?
A list of what Albion consider high-value targets that are threats to the peaceful running of London. See here, a journalist, and this one runs a community shelter. Good God, bar your doors.
What the fuck?
All suspected of sowing rebellion or exhibiting tendencies towards... Albion is systematically arresting people even before they rise
Auto
up.
drive now enabled.
Joke's on them. This list can actually help us find like-minded allies willing to help us. Well done. Now, let's disrupt some of Albion's propaganda and give some hope to the people.
Auto drive now enabled. Auto drive now enabled.
Searching for dangerous individuals. All citizens have an important role to play. Observe down and your street safe.
Sucking shit drivers.
Attention. Illegal entry is a security risk. Do not compromise your safety or the safety of others. Report all illegal persons directly to the authorities.
Let that sink in. Don't play around with Albion or you'll end up in the gutter.
Okay. I understand. No problem.
Interfering with city funds or corporate drones is prohibited. If you witness unauthorized hacking, report the incident immediately. Failure to report an incident could result.
Look around. It's Albion, fucking Albion everywhere. It's burnt into the skin of this city. This isn't just propaganda. This is a fucking psychological cattle tag.
There's going to be that much less once you're done here. Let's give Camden a break from these eyesores.
I'm on it.
Keep all documentation and identification up to date. ID checks and searches keep London safe. You have nothing to fear if you have not.
If you hijacked that scissor lift, you could use it to access the rooftop.
Remember to be vigilant when going about your daily activities. Report any suspicious activity or individuals. Attention, basic cybersecurity awareness is your responsibility. Tampering with your assigned optic device will leave you vulnerable and is a punishable offense.
Yes, nicely done. That'll get people's attention. Let them know someone is standing up to Albion. Light the spark that they can stand up to.
If nothing else, it'll relieve their eye strain.
What now?
We're already seeing results from what you've done. That list we found named a journalist in Camden who's been investigating Albion. We reached out and he's got information that can help us. I think you should meet with him.
Send me the location.
great. Absolutely. If you can, yeah, sure. Yeah, no, honestly, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be fantastic. Thank you very much, yeah?
Heard you need help. What can I do?
You're the crew that's been sticking it to Albion. Can't believe someone else is. Thought I was alone, right? Not doing much, just putting the word out. But you? Taking action, mate.
Yeah, agreed. Tyranny isn't an idea. It's an institution. Boots, paper, plumbing. We tear down Albion, we make room for something better. So what do you have?
Almost got clip finding this. All of Albion's operational data for the entire city. Convoy routes, surveillance targets, assets. It's all there. Thinking you can make good use of that.
Fucking right.
Here's a sample. Albion's closed King's Cross to the public, right? What people don't know is that they're using it as their logistics centre. Materials, troops, whatever. A lot of it runs through there. You want to give the people a huge boost? Hit that place. Put it out of commission, and you'll severely hamstring Albion's operations here in Camden. Hell, everywhere.
That's the move then.
No, I'm listening. Yeah. Yeah. Seriously, no, hold on.
Albion's operational plans are just what we needed to really get some traction. We'll have to take a close look at this. Now, how do we take King's Cross offline?
Albion's housed a massive hybrid-powered generator. Getting to that generator ain't gonna be easy. They've locked it up tighter since I last saw.
Any ideas?
My news drones are still in here. They should be functional. You can use one of them. Probably have better luck piloting it too, yeah?
Well, causing a power surge in a hybrid-powered generator isn't like making a toasty. We're going to need detailed specifications.
Let's get nosy then.
Investigation underway. Scanning the area for suspicious behavior.
Yeah, check this out.
Cool, looks bloody complicated. News he's got a pretty functional camera. Would a picture do you, Bagley?
It would indeed. According to this, there's an override code that'll get us into the generator's system.
Disturbance detected. Beginning the inversion.
That's it. Use the code on the generator and I can trigger a power surge.
It should be enough to take King's Cross offline. And the rail system too.
Here we go.
got a gold mine of information out of St. Pancras. Albion convoys, informants, gear, you name it. Everything we need to ignite the people of London, like we did in Camden. Derail Albion's operations and give the people a reason to rise up, borough by borough. The more we do that, the more we'll get allies flocking to the cause. We'll show London that DedSec is here for them.
That was off the chain, mate. I knew DedSec weren't the bad guys Albion was saying. Now the rest of Camden will too. Thanks.
Thanks.
Now that you've shown the borough what DedSec is really all about, there are going to be folks wanting to join up. A lot of people have been looking for a way to fight back. In fact, there's one in particular I suspect will contact you very soon. I happen to know they're champing at the bit.
Grand. Appreciate any leads you can send us. Excellent. Our little posse's growing. Welcome to DedSec.
Banging! I'm gassed. When do we start bashing heads in?
Very nice.
Well, fuck me, you're still alive. I owe Sabine a tenner. Not only that, but your resistance handiwork just opened up a whole new source of information. So now I spy with my hypothetical eye something interesting at the Ministry of Civic Management.
What is it?
The Signals Intelligence Response Service, or SIRS, or the Earl Grey Gestapo, have developed a surveillance technology called AR Reconstruction. It's the bleeding edge of privacy rights violation, and thus it could be very useful in our attempts to find Zero Day.
Here.
In theory, the AR reconstruction should allow me to use various sources of surveillance data to rebuild past events. Access a data relay, and I can scrape all the metadata for this area.
I don't like the look of this door.
All good. I'll try somewhere else. Moving on. No one's here. Nobody's here. Searching elsewhere.
Take cover!
Right, I'm ending this now! Put a stop to this! Hey! Stop!
No more chance! Hey!
I need backup at my location.
I'm pinned down!
We're got it!
Already dead.
Shut the fire! In the car or the body bag? Which one? Oh my god. This has gone completely tits up.
I'm getting shot at here!
Checking it out.
Standard quadrant search. I have this one.
Nothing here.
They got away! Shit!
That's it. Now, let's take this autocratic wet dream for a test drive.
CTOS AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
Oh my days, this kind of thing could help us out big time.
You're right. We definitely need this extremely cool thing I want for investigating Zero Day. Shit, for some reason I can't clone it to our servers. All right, access the network here and let's see if we can't find out where to nick one.
Suspicious activity. Together, we can make...
That's the CTOS up there. Aha! The SIRS has deployed this technology at their HQ, and I've just nabbed their manual on how to set up the system. Now, Scarpa, you can't steal their toy if they throw you in the gulag.
How are we supposed to get this AR stuff?
The program is hosted on a server that's on the roof of SIRS HQ. All you have to do is grab the whole thing, then take it to a few high-density locations so I can recalibrate it to the dead set network and clone my own version.
Yeah, that's cool, but how am I supposed to get the server off the fucking roof?
We need to find someone with access to a cargo or construction drone that can fly it off of there. Perfect opportunity to recruit a heavy lifter to the cause, I'd say.
So what exactly makes someone a heavy lifter?
Well, let's put our thinking caps on, shall we? Now, who in London would have access to a construction drone? Could it be a construction worker?
Obviously, robot prick.
Not so hard, was it? There's an active construction yard nearby. I dare say you'll probably be able to find a construction worker to recruit there. Here's the coordinates.
A penalty charge notice has been issued in your name for an illegally parked vehicle. Ignoring this PCN may carry extra penalties.
Occupation? Check. Drone? Check. This could be the one.
They look promising.
Oh, they have a beastly drone friend. I mean, the person looks efficient too. Oh, they have a beastly drone friend. I mean, the person looks efficient too.
You look like the sort who wants to make a difference.
Shit, are you saying you're dead sick? I could really use your help.
Maybe, if we're not too busy. What's up?
Well, I'm fucking stupid is the main thing. I had a medical issue that, of course, our completely gutted NHS doesn't cover. So I went to Clan Kelly and, long story short, now I'm a slave. Do me a solid and free me.
All right. I'll tell my crew.
Clan Kelly will bleed our new friend dry if we don't do so.
You're hench, mate. I think you got what it takes to save London.
You're dead sick, right? Got a situation you can help with.
Maybe, if we're not too busy. What's up?
Those Albion fucks poisoned me.
Yeah, I worked in one of their warehouses, but whatever they had us handling made me feel like my organs were liquefying.
God, that's fucking awful. I'm sorry, man.
I fucking filed a complaint, but it was dropped. Insufficient evidence to investigate. Oh, it's bullshit. I mean, how the fuck are you supposed to get sufficient evidence if you aren't allowed to investigate until you have sufficient evidence? It's a fucking trap.
Another Albion cover-up, innit? We'll figure this shit out.